Can hear me? All right, Raymond, Daniel, Ron, Hushin, Gary. Can you all hear me okay? We'll wait for a response there. Make sure I don't have to do any troubleshooting here. Yes, sir. Awesome. God, my head gets shinier and shinier every time I do this in this room. I need some makeup powder, something. What do people put on their face to make it not shiny for TV? That's what I need. Welcome, everybody. You are here. My name is Ben. That was third person. You're with Speedrun Seeds right now. This is our weekly live, and we got a big one tonight, exciting one tonight. Been waiting for this opportunity to talk to you guys about this for a long time, and it is here. So, yeah, if you haven't been here before, if you're new, we do this every week. We'll talk about a different subject, different topic, depending on what has been going on the social medias in the last week, or if we have a drop coming up, maybe we'll shape the live around that. But let's see. It says I lost you guys. Didn't know it moved here. Oh, well, Raymond, I'm glad you found us. We've been trying to get that information out there, trying to post the YouTube links every week in the Facebook group, and it looks like we've had pretty much almost everybody carry over, I would say. And we're looking to grow this weekly thing here. So tell your friends. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and I would say tonight is a good start down that road. So let's see what happened in the last week. We did our Blackberry drop that went really quickly again. So we dropped twice as many Blackberry as we did of the last drop, which I guess was God Particle, I want to say, right? Yeah, and it went just as fast. I think it went 2 hours. So next time, I'm thinking we'll try to set it up so they don't sell out as quickly. But yeah, we appreciate everybody. It looks like I remember a lot of the names I see in the chat who definitely picked up some of that Blackberry. So I'm excited to see you guys run that for sure. Let's see. Raymond says his Granite Haze F4 is fire. Also, that's such a great strain. I love that strain. That was the first strain we ever released, and we are all just so proud of that strain here. It's one of our favorites. We love running it. It gets so big. It's one of those like just growers. It's a crazy grower, and it puts on some of the best frost. That's the strain that tested above 30% THCA. So we just sent in more samples for COAs for THC analysis or cannabinoid analysis, and we will have COAs back on, I'm pretty sure it's all of our strains that we submitted. I'm not sure if the Blackberry went in, but everything up until that point, we're going to have COAs on. We'll post those on the website. Speaking of the website, we have a new website that is just getting the finishing touches right now. So we will be updating to a new website this week. Let's see. Sage says this pound dog in the 15-gallon pot is stacking really nicely, and the smell is amazing. Awesome. That is always good to hear. We love running in those 15 gallons. I would say, it's funny. I was talking to somebody this week. Pound dog was the first strain that we were able to really ever achieve those huge yields with. And now since we've released the pound dog, as we've been working these lines, we've been getting those kinds of yields off of like almost all of our strains. So it's funny because people will, talk about the pound dog being, if you're looking to get a high yield, if you're looking to get, the maximum possible yield with autos or getting a pound off of an autoflower, you could do that with pretty much all of our strains. I don't know that there's any of the strains that I would say that you wouldn't be able to get that kind of size off of. So yeah, that's really cool that we've been seeing that as a trend when we do the 15-gallon pots, that we're able to get those kinds of yields. So pretty exciting. We got a lot of really cool stuff coming out as far as genetics soon. And we got one particular strain that I am extremely excited about, and I am going to talk a little bit about that one tonight. Let's see. Jason says, I've got 2 pound dogs going in 25-gallon fabric pots. That's awesome. I'd love to see some pictures of that. How old are they, Jason, as far as your pound dogs? Joe says going to do at least 2 to 3 pound dogs in the greenhouse soon. That's the coolest thing is we've been all getting ready for the outdoor season, especially we're here at the farm and we've been prepping outside to get ready for the outdoor season. And it is really cool seeing everybody at home doing the same thing. This is really my first spring being, engaged with a lot of home growers. This is our first year, really, full year selling genetics to everyone. And it's been really awesome seeing how people at home prep for the grow season, just like we do at the farm. And it's kind of cool seeing that parallel, people setting up their greenhouses and just a lot of cool stuff. Joe says he just got a new 12x8 instant up greenhouse for this season. Hell yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. You have to post like a link in the group, Joe. I'd love to see what kind of I don't even know. I've never even seen like instant up greenhouse. That's really cool to look into that a little bit. What did that cost, Joe? If you don't mind me asking. It was a 12x8, you said. People talking about topping. Granite Haze F5 is almost 5 feet tall in a 15-gallon pot. Might yield close to a pound. Yeah, I mean, if I don't know how old it is, Daniel, but at 5 feet tall, you're in that range for sure. You're in that range. $200 for a 12x8 instant up greenhouse. Interesting, Joe. Interesting. That's very cool. Definitely interested in seeing. Maybe shoot me a DM with a link about that greenhouse. So okay, let's get into what we have to talk about tonight. There is a reason that I am here at the facility. You are with me here at Speedrun, and the reason that I wanted to hold this here is because tonight we are going to be talking about the Speedrun Autoflower Nutrient System. We're going to be making the nutrient line available for pre-order, and that's going to happen this weekend. Pushing, yeah, it says heavy breathing intensifies. Yeah, Brandon, I know everyone's been waiting for it, so tonight is the night that we talk about it in detail. And it'll be, like I said, pre-orders will start this weekend. So you guys are going to start to see some pictures. You're going to start to see some videos about the nutrient line. And I am going to make myself available to answer questions, talk about it, anything that you guys want to know. So let's start with, what is it? So we put a lot of thought, and I know I've talked about what we were going to release before, and we have made a couple of adjustments into as far as what we're going to release first. So we put a lot of thought into what we wanted to put out there as the flagship nutrient line as far as conventional nutrient lines go for Speedrun Seeds, and we put a lot of work into making sure that we had something that was accessible and easy for everybody. And we've spent a really long time running these exact nutrients. We spent, I would say, over a year with just this exact formulation. And what's interesting about it is that we've been building nutrient lines from other nutrient lines. So we've been taking a component of this and a component of that, mixing them together. We've been adding in, we need more calcium, so we'll add in some calcium nitrate or something. We've been mixing and matching stuff for a long time. And raw has been a great nutrient line. I've recommended that a lot of times. It's really solid for what it is. Raw is a salt nutrient line. And there's some efficiencies about a salt nutrient line. Salt nutrients are very compact. So if you go and buy, a 2.2, a 1 kilogram bag of salts, you're going to end up with nutrients that are going to last you a long time. And, for us, it's 50-pound bags, and the brand is Calyx, which is the same thing as raw, but it's the commercial version. So we've bought, for a long time, we use those. And that's what most commercial farms, a lot of commercial farms that you're going to run into are going to talk about, which nutrient lines they use. And it's almost always going to be salts. Athena makes I think it's professional line. Advanced Nutrients makes a salt line. So for efficiency, salt has always been like the king. So Sage says, I just stocked up on FOOP. So yeah. Then you start to look at liquids. All right, so liquid nutrient lines are extremely easy to use. Liquid nutrients are what a lot of people, when I grew at home, I really like liquid nutrient lines just because it's all you're doing is pouring a little bit into your water. It's a certain milliliters per gallon. So let's say it's a 15 milliliter per gallon rate. What's up, Joe? How you doing? 15 milliliter per gallon rate. You just pour 15 milliliters into a graduated cylinder, and you pour that into your 1 gallon of irrigation water. You pour that into your plant, and you're good. That's the simplicity of liquid nutrients. And what we wanted to achieve was something that's as efficient as a salt nutrient, where it's a compact package. It's not quite the same price that a liquid nutrient would be, just because there's so many things that go into making a liquid nutrient that they have to raise the price. And honestly, when you're buying a liquid nutrient, what you're paying for is a lot of water. 90% or more of that bottle is water. And that's convenience factor. It makes sense, but for if you're looking for efficiency, that's not it. So what we came up with is, we feel, going to be the new way that a lot of people are feeding their autos, and we think it's we've used it for a long time. We know it's the best nutrient line that we could possibly conceive of. We've gotten the best possible results from it. We've gotten those 1 pound yields that you see us get, those giant plants that we post pictures of. It's all attributed to this nutrient line, and we are super excited to talk about it. So we're going to be making a starter kit available. And the starter kit is going to have, we've set it up so that you've got enough nutrients in there to get you through a full run. And we decided the number of 4 plants, because 4 plants are what most states will legally permit people to have. And it's just a good number to start at, a good number to be at. And so we've designed this to get you through a full run in 5-gallon pots. There's a lot of factors that go into that, of how you water and all that kind of stuff, but average, a full run in 5-gallon pots for 4 plants. So let's see here. Boom. So let you guys take a look at that for a minute. All right. This is it. It's going to come in this box. And what this is going to be is, let's pull these out. If I can get them. And mind you, the complete official packaging is going to be put together by the time these ship, but this is what you're looking at here. Let's organize these real quick. All right. So what this is going to come with: packets, and I'm going to talk about these specific packets in a second. But what these are, and you can see here, you got 2-ounce packets, and my fingers are all blue because I was just touching nutrients. So yeah, what you're going to be looking at when you open this box is 2 different things primarily. The two most primary things in this kit are the nutrient packets and also the nutrient bottles that we're going to send with them. So these nutrient packets, there's a couple things about them that we love. First of all, take a look at that right there. Compostable. Everything in this box is either 100% compostable, which means it might be a little bit better to put it through a paper shredder before you put it in your compost pile. But in reality, you'll be able to just throw that into your compost pile, and it'll completely dissolve. So there's 8 of these packets. It ranges from 1A to 4B. So 8 packets, 2 packets for the first phase, 2 packets for the second phase, 2 packets for the third phase, and two for the fourth. And this is designed for early veg, late veg, early flower, late flower. And we've designed this so that there's 0 single-use plastics. And I know you guys might be looking at this and thinking that's a lot of packaging for what works out to be, less than a big bag of nutrients. We're talking about efficiency here, and we didn't want to start polluting the planet by throwing a bunch of plastic pouches out there or mylar pouches. So we decided to go with fully compostable down to the labels. Everything here can be, like I said, thrown into your compost pile and disposed of that way. And then it will also come with 2 of these bottles. And this works out in a very specific way. There's a big reason we chose these bottles. So the way it's going to work is, and I'll do a little bit of a demo for you guys just so that you can see what it is that I'm talking about. So you will get these pouches, you'll get these bottles, you'll open up the starter kit. Kimbo Slice just grabbed a bottle cap that she's playing with. It's great. You'll grab the starter kit. You're going to take your pouch. You're going to pour these nutrients. And mind you, it comes with a funnel as well, which I probably should have grabbed. But you're going to pour your nutrients into your bottle, just like this. All right. So nutrients go into bottle. You go to your sink. You're going to get yourself 32 ounces of water. And this is the 16-ounce bottle, but it will be coming with a 32-ounce bottle. You're going to go ahead and pour in your water up to the fill line. Close the bottle, shake the bottle. So we are going to be making a liquid nutrient available as well. So just because this, we're talking about how efficient this is and how much sense this makes for us to do, doesn't mean that's all we're going to be making available. So we're going to be, if you guys are looking to go with a liquid nutrient that's just a straight liquid, we'll be making a blended liquid available to you guys. It's kind of like, think of, the way Athena sells a salt, and they also sell their Athena blended. We're going to be making both available. And then a little bit later down the line, we're going to be doing an organic line. Organic liquid line. So fully dissolved. There is no salts left at the bottom of this. It takes about 30 seconds or so to shake to get it fully dissolved. And that is it, guys. So now you've just taken your salt nutrient, you've added water, and now you have a liquid nutrient line that you can use fully. And it is going to be 2 parts. So get up and get the B bottle, but it's 2 parts. So you'll have 2 bottles, and everything's color coded based on the stage that it is, and all the way through. Your CalMag is built in, your micronutrients are built in. Everything is in part 1 and part 2. And the way these bottles work is you unscrew that side just a little bit, you squeeze it. You got 30 milliliters. That's 1 ounce. You're gonna go ahead and pour that into your irrigation water. So let's say you've got a 5-gallon bucket. You would get yourself 5 ounces, pour that in, and you have a fully functional, diluted irrigation bucket. and you can go ahead and you can pour that straight into like a 1-gallon watering can. There's a lot. It's a liquid nutrient. Do with it what you would do with a liquid nutrient. Everything is designed so that you dissolve this packet into either the 1A bottle or the 1B bottle, or all the way up to the 4A, 4B bottles. And there's the right amount of salts in here, and it is at the right concentration, at the right formulation, so that these are designed at the application rate to be 100% exactly what you need. So how do our genetics react? So that is how we formulated this. We have been running this nutrient line for exactly as it is. We've been running a variation on this for years. And the way we've been running this specific one for just about a year, and we have, with just this nutrient line, just exactly how this is, we have run about 75,000 autoflower plants with just this nutrient line, with exactly as it is. Not the such small bottles, but about 75,000 plants have been grown with this, and they react better than anything that we've ever used for any autoflowers because we took us so long to get here. And you guys know, if you've been here with me every week, that we've talked about leaf tissue analysis quite a lot. And leaf tissue analysis plays a huge role in formulating a nutrient line for us. So we will take leaf tissue samples every week, and we've taken over 30,000 unique leaf tissue samples between all the facilities that we've sampled, with the consulting and at our facility here. So we have just about 30,000, or a little bit over 30,000 leaf tissue samples that we have used to base, and with those comes every micro and macronutrient as it exists in the plant. So it gives you the exact content in the leaves, and we've used that on a every single week basis for a bunch of harvests, and we've compiled that data. We've compared it to the THC content, the yield data, and all the information that we've pulled from that. We've put all those into spreadsheets, and we have pulled the precise information on what has gotten us to the highest possible yields and what's gotten us to the highest possible THC percentages for autoflower specifically. So that all of that is to say that we've put a lot of work into this particular nutrient line, and we're very proud to be releasing it. William asks, will this be available? Yes, this is going to be available. We're going to make this available for pre-sale this weekend, and this will be coming out officially. Hey, Kimbo, enough of that. I don't know what she's doing. But we're going to be making this officially available. It's going to be shipping this month. So we're shooting for close to the end of the month is when you're going to be arriving to you guys. But we're going to start to make pre-sale available this weekend. And this is something, we've been talking about a nutrient line for a while. You guys might have heard me talking about nutrient lines on the lives here. And I've known that this is what we were going to release, but this is, it's been really hard to keep a secret. So I am ecstatic to be releasing this and talking to you guys about it and starting to take some questions about it, because there's a lot out there. There's a lot of misinformation out there about autoflower nutrition, and a lot of people will tell you that it's feeding an autoflower is the same as feeding a photoperiod, and that's real far from the truth. There's a number of very critical differences between autoflower nutrition and photoperiod nutrition, and formulating an autoflower nutrient line is something that we've done for ourselves. We've had to do it to get the highest possible efficiency and to get the best possible results from, like I said, we do 30,000 plant pheno hunts. So that in order to get the best possible results from that number of plants, that sheer number of plants, you got to have some efficiencies built into your feeding programs and your feeding systems. And that's what our job has been over the last few years of being in the mass cultivation of autos space has been creating this particular thing. So we feel that this is something that is going to be really, really great for a lot of home growers. And I know people can be a little bit intimidated about salts, and that's something I wanted to talk about tonight. Is people I had conversations with countless number of people in the group on Facebook and on the other social medias, and people tend to have had maybe in the past some bad experiences with salts. They don't like having to weigh out the powders. There's a number of reasons where people would hesitate to go and buy a 25-pound bag of salts or something, or 1 kilogram bag of salts. And we completely understand that. It's if there was a more efficient way to do things, then we would probably do that here. But what we decided to build for you guys was a liquid nutrient line without the water. So what we're shipping to you, what's coming to your door, is in all ways a liquid nutrient line. The only difference between this and a liquid nutrient line is that you're just dumping it in and adding the water yourself. But everything else remains exactly the same. I saw somebody, Joe asked, so is one ounce per gallon. We'll talk about the precise feeding schedules for every week. It's going to hover somewhere around 2 ounces per gallon is what I believe the feeding schedule worked out to for the way we formulated this for home growers. So, but the cool thing is, it is a concentrate, William, yes. The cool thing is that even if it's a high application rate, you're still getting the same amount of nutrients in salt form, and you're just adding, just a little bit more water. And what does water cost you, guy? Like that's the coolest part about this is we formulated it so that it's very difficult to mess up with this. It's almost impossible to mess up with this nutrient line, and even as far as burning your plants or anything like that, because we've done the mixing for you, we've done the weighing for you. All you're going to do is add it to the bottle, add the water, shake it, and we've even included a bottle that will measure it for you. And this one measures out exactly an ounce. So there's really doesn't get easier than that. And then something, it's get this moved back to the other side here, drain it like that. So yeah, it's literally if you can make a bowl of oatmeal, like if you can open a packet of oatmeal and dump it in a bowl and add water, you can do the same thing with this nutrient line and measuring out your nutrients. You're no longer using graduated cylinders. You're no longer using a teaspoon and a scale. And that's something I'll address in a little bit here. Sort of talking about how some nutrient lines make their feeding schedules and make their feeding recommendations. But you're tossing out your measuring containers, you're tossing out your mixing containers. You're not having to do a whole lot of the stuff that you would have to do with other nutrient lines. This is designed specifically to be as easy as possible and to feed your plants to get the best possible phenotypic expression from autoflowers that you possibly can. And we know it, we've seen it with our plants, we've seen the results, and this is the culmination of years and years of effort and just research and work that's gone into figuring out how to feed autos and building a system that works really well. So that's my little spiel on the nutrient line. You guys can probably see how excited I am about that. And yeah, I'm happy to take any questions. I'll give you guys a little bit of a peek at what is wrong? Oh, hey, you okay? Yeah, I'll answer any questions, and I'll give you a peek at some of the packages here. Daniel says, and you mentioned that this is a starter pack. It's only for 4 auto plants throughout their life cycle. Then you'd need to have another starter pack for more than 4 plants. Excellent question. No, actually. So the next thing I was going to sort of bring up about the logistics of the nutrient line is we're going to be making packets available instantly, and then we're going to make them available in a couple different ways. So you will be able to buy packets. You'll be able to buy the fertilizer packets, and these will come in the mail. It's super easy to send them, and they're, like I said, they're weighed out specifically to work with those bottles. And then you can sign up for the subscription to these. So you'll be able to just sign up, and depending on how many plants you grow, however many, if you're going autos, probably you're taking about 75, 80 days to finish your plants. So on whatever interval that you would like, and however many plants you're growing, you can just choose how many packets you want to arrive and how often you want them to get there. So there's something about this that I haven't mentioned yet, and I think this might be the coolest part. Nutrients in bottles are not the only thing that are coming in this pack. So if you guys happen to catch it when I showed you the box, exclusive strain inside. What does that mean? So we have been holding back a strain. We have a strain that we developed pretty close to when we first started selling nutrients, selling genetics through Multiverse Beans. And it was going to be one of the first ones that we released. We decided to hold it back for a special occasion because it was that good. And I know this, this might sound a little silly, but we felt that this was the occasion. Like when everything lined up, and when we kind of made the connection, okay, we're going to be doing a starter box Why wouldn't we provide genetics with it? We are a genetics company. Why would we not provide one of the best autoflower strains on the planet with the best autoflower nutrient on the planet? It seems obvious. So the strain is called Final Boss, and I'm going to be Granite Haze F12. The strain's called Final Boss, and I'm going to be posting pictures of it on the Facebook group. I'll post pictures of it on the Instagram, and we're going to be posting pictures of the nutrient line and the box for it and all that stuff. You're going to get really nice close looks at everything, but it's going to come with 4 seeds, and it will come with, like I said, enough nutrients to grow those 4 seeds, and that is going to be the deal there. So let's see. Oh, yeah. And then, like I mentioned before, I wanted to make sure I emphasize this. There are no single-use plastics involved with this nutrient line at all. So it's going to be arriving in a cardboard box here, and it is going to, all the labels are biodegradable, compostable. These are plastic, but they are reusable for a long time. So these bottles will last you as long as you can use them. You know, these are no reason that you can't use these for the foreseeable future that you're using any kind of nutrient. You can do any kind of mixing in there. But and then beyond that, everything else can just be either torn up or shredded or just thrown in as is into your compost pile. And that's one of the big reasons that we decided to release the bokashi too, because bokashi is something that's used for composting. So it's going to go hand in hand with these nutrients. So, and this nutrient line. So everything else that you don't use, everything else that you're done with, throw the bokashi and the packaging right into your compost pile or your compost bin, which we highly recommend having, and you're done with it. So I see people asking about price point. This is going to be $149.99, and that is for the starter kit. That's for everything here, and that includes the genetics, and then the reorder on the nutrients significantly less than that. But the reorder on the nutrients makes it's in line with a lot of it's their nutrients. But what you're getting with this starter kit is the ability to run this as a liquid nutrient. You're getting the best possible genetics that you can ask for, and you are getting the support of the Speedrun website. The new website is going to have a lot of educational content that you guys are going to be able to have access to. There is so much to this, and it's more than just a nutrient line. It really is. This is a system. That's why I called it an Autoflower Nutrient system, because there's how you grow, what you grow with, what you grow. Really, when I say that, I mean, how you grow, meaning all of our recommendations on how to use this nutrient line, the feeding schedule, the salts themselves, and the liquid itself, and then the as far as what you're growing, the genetics that are coming with it are designed precisely to use with this. They've been bred on this particular nutrient line. This is what they've been eating their entire, generational history, and this is what it leads to, is this full system of, fertilizers, of this kind of educational interactive content, and also the genetics. So let's see. Daniel says he was about to drop $179 on all of my different organic nutrients, but I might have to wait for this. Yeah, if you need nutrients right now, just buy a little bit to hold yourself over. But Ron asks how many seeds in there? 4 seeds. So this is coming with with a 3-pack, 4 seeds, and that is yeah. So by the way, this strain is not available anywhere else. Final Boss is not going to be released on its own as an individual strain. It is part of this starter pack, and you can only get this strain in this starter pack. So it is a package deal. Like that's part of it. When I say that, I mean this is a nutrient system. This is designed to all work together, and that genetic is designed to work with this nutrient line, which is designed to work with our system, which is designed to work with the the whole. And that is the kind of the magic of this. So yeah, that's the summary of it. I can see you guys are excited. I'm excited. We cannot wait to get this going. We cannot wait to start seeing these in people's houses. We cannot wait to start working with you guys. We're all going to be using the same nutrients, which is awesome. Like, that's what I've been waiting for so long, is to be able to talk to all the people, who are on the social media, who are all working with our genetics. And now we're all working with the same genetics and the same nutrients. I mean, how much better could that be? I love it. I love it. So, hey, Ben, do these nutrients work in deep water culture? Yes, they do. Please make more than 50 packs. We're going to make sure that these are available. It's unknown at the moment exactly how many we're going to pre-sale. Okay, all right. It's unknown at the moment exactly how many we're going to pre-sale, but this is designed so that we're not going to run out. We're making sure that we've got the inventory set up, and we're going to make sure that we're not selling out too fast of this. We're going to do our best to make sure of that. So I will wash your cat for a starter pack. This is a dog, Ron. I know might look like a cat, but this is a dog. So you can get down. Okay. Just wanted to say, you had to say hi to everybody. How stable does it hold pH levels? Good question. It is designed to be as stable as possible as a calcium nitrate fertilizer can be. Calcium nitrate has a tendency to trend slightly upward as far as pH. So in the duration that you guys will be using this in, we always recommend you start with your water, add your nutrient, pH after. Every single time you feed, we recommend start with, fill your watering container, add your nutrient, pH after. And if you do that, it's going to hold your pH in your soil or in your media stable. Like that. That is designed to do that. Danny says, put the beanie back on Kimbo Slice. So yeah. And what we formulated this ourselves. So every part, every micro and macronutrient, we made the decision on each of those for a particular reason. And we know, and I was about to say we know that these are the best possible combination of nutrients to work in a home grow setting as well as for commercial, but specifically for home grow, the formulation that we chose, the micronutrient ratios and the ratio of calcium to magnesium, and then the ratio of calcium and magnesium to nitrogen, and then to phosphorus and potassium. We chose all of those in a very specific way. We set this up so that it's not necessarily designed for CO2 supplementation. So the nutrient line that we run here, same nutrient line, but the feeding schedule that we run here is designed for our CO2 supplementation. And for the way that we set this up, it's not precisely designed for CO2 supplementation, but it can absolutely be used with CO2. It's just, there's a couple little, maybe a little bit changes in the application rate. So I see a couple questions here. Brandon says, lemon juice as pH down, baking soda as pH up. Any issues using these? Brandon, what would be the reason to use those over a pH up and a pH down would be my question. The initial issues that I can see is your lemon juice might not always be the exact same pH as the last lemon juice, and your baking soda, there's always opens up a little bit of room for errors there. So that's one of the big reasons I would say, sticking with a consistent product might be better. But if you have some reasons, if you've been using them for a long time, Brandon, I've seen you grow some great plants. So if those are working for you, then I would hesitate to mess with your system. What media do you guys use? Will it work the same in cocoa versus soil? So we use a soilless media, which there's a lot of options out there for soilless media. There's like ProMix HP is a good one. The one that has Mycorrhizae is a good one. I recommend it. I mean, some people have been having problems recently with what they were saying. They were getting bugs in there or something. I don't know. Somebody mentioned something to me about ProMix, but as far as the composition of it, it's a good media. Sunshine Mix number 4 from SunGrow is a good one. If you're looking to go for soil, this is designed for inert media, guys. So like that's the feeding schedule that we're providing is designed for a lightly amended or inert media. So It is meant for something like Fox Farm Happy Frog, not the ocean forest, but the Happy Frog, which is a more lightly amended blend. And all the soil companies out there are going to have a lighter amendment, soil mix, and that's what this is designed for. Let's see. Sage said, "Yeah, I was saying that earlier, Sage. I got to start powdering my head if I'm going to be doing lives here." Uh, can we still use our mycorrhiza, Gaia Green, and whatnot in our soil amendments? You can, but just like with any other liquid nutrient line with a heavily amended soil, well, as far as mycorrhiza, absolutely. We're going to also be making a mycorrhiza product available, and we're not going to be showing that one off tonight, but we will be making a full range. So we have a mycorrhiza, we have a beneficial, we have an aminos packet, we have a kelp, and a humic. So we're going to be making those additions, those add-ons, available also as in conjunction with the nutrient line. And then, but yes, absolutely, you can use Myco, Gaia Green, and soil amendments. Just be careful when you use it when you operate the feeding schedule. Silica as well, Moses. Yeah, there's going to be some potassium silicate made also available, and we're working out a couple different silica options. There's a couple little final touches that we want to make sure that we're providing something that is not only efficient and is not only going to get you the best possible results with your autoflowers, but is cost effective for you guys, and it makes a lot of sense, and specifically for the home grower, that everything kind of comes together perfectly. But yes, there will be silica available, pretty much anything that you will be able to get outside of this nutrient line, as far as this already has all the full range of micronutrients and macronutrients, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, everything's in there. But when you're looking at wanting to get some kelp, some humic acid, some fulvic acid, you're looking at silica, you're looking at your mycorrhiza, beneficial bacteria. Those things are going to be made available, with it. So, and we're working out a couple things. You guys, may have an exciting announcement about that, but we're not quite ready to talk about that one yet. So, Cultivation Nation 7030. I don't know that particular 70. If it's just is it? Does that one have any amendments in it, guys? Like, is that one? We don't. A lot of commercial growers don't use Fox Farm just because it is a little overpriced as far as when you're buying large amounts of bulk soil. So yeah, if it's a 70-30, 70 cocoa, 30 perlite, and it's an inert media, I would say definitely, yeah, it's a good option. Sometimes, we like a little bit of peat in a media. Peat can help with moisture retention. Some vermiculite is never bad. So there's a lot of good blends out there, and that's a soilless media. So it's definitely in the range of what we would recommend for this. Let's see if I'm not missing any questions here. What about additives like recharge? Is it recommended? Yeah, I mean, it definitely, get your microbial life and your microbial activity going, and keep it alive, and just like you would with any other nutrient line. Absolutely. And we were going to be making that available. What do you recommend for inexpensive soil online? As far as soil, I don't know if I have any great recommendations for an inexpensive soil line off the top of my head. I could look at what the price of the Sunshine Mix number 4, shipped to somebody's house would be. That one for us has always been the most cost effective, and it's a good. It doesn't quite have enough of the dolomite lime in there, so we usually do lime it a little bit. But other than that, it's always been a good soil for us, or a good soilless media, I should say, for us. And that's one that I recommend for sure. Cultivation Nation has the best particle size. That's a big thing with cocoa. Cocoa is there's a range of different types of cocoa. Daniel, yes, Sunshine Mix number 4. Range of different types and textures of cocoa. So just because you're running cocoa doesn't mean you're going to have the same drainage and the same water retention as somebody else, because they might be using a different cocoa. There's all sorts of open top bags, compressed cocoa blocks, and all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of different formulations and types of cocoa. Let's see, like 40 to 50 for, I think, 3 cubic feet. Okay. All right. Yeah. Mother Earth. I see a lot of people mentioning, what they feel decent soils. And Yeah, guys, run a soil that you're comfortable with. Run in something that you've had experience with, that you know how the drainage works. Because and we're going to be posting a lot about how we recommend you using, how you recommend this, or how you use this nutrient line. We're going to be making a lot of information available. There's going to be You'll be able to scan a QR code on the back of the package, and it'll take you to our website where you're going to be able to talk. We'll watch videos about what we recommend as far as volume of water for your pot, how much runoff you would want to see, all that kind of stuff. We're making sure that we're being very specific about how we recommend using this, and that's what gets these results. That's what gets the results that you've seen us have. That's what gets the result that you want to get with any plant that you grow at home, and yeah, that's what gets you. That's what gets you to the finish line with a 1 pound plant. Really, that's the bottom line here, is how do you get to the finish line with a 1 pound plant? And there's a lot of factors that go into that, and dialing in your environmentals in your system is a big part of it. But starting with a great nutrient line and a great genetic, those are the two biggest things, and that's what we're providing. And then as far as all the other stuff, we're going to work with you guys. We're going to have content available. You guys are going to have me here. I'm going to be releasing content. I'm going to be available. We're going to get there. I'm going to get you guys growing the biggest plants at home possible. Just mark my words here. We're going to we're going to make sure that you're producing as much weight off of each plant as you possibly can. And that's a promise. So yeah, let's see. Do you use a wetting agent? It's something, we don't have a wetting agent in here, yucca. That's something that we considered, and we feel that you can. It's not really part of a nutrient line. It is and it's not. And often you'll see those in liquid nutrient lines, and there is a consideration with organics adding a wetting agent, but we are not putting a dry wetting agent in here. We can make recommendations for a wetting agent, depending on your media. Whether that's necessary or not is debatable. But yeah, there's not a wetting agent built in. We can absolutely recommend one, but it really depends on what your media is. Friday, Saturday, Sunday release. You guys will get an exact date and time from me before the weekend. I promise that. I don't want to commit to Friday, Saturday, or Sunday right at the moment here. We're leaning towards Sunday. As far as the time, probably right around when I do the live, maybe the end of it, we'll probably make it, but could be before, could be Friday. So we'll definitely let you know. Let's see, do you ever flush your media to remove excess salt buildup? So in a 10-week cycle, you absolutely can, every 7 to 10 days, do a nice little flush. Or like a day of plain water, depending on the media that you're running and depending on the concentration of your nutrients and all that in general, it may or may not be necessary. With soil, so it's often not necessary. With something like rock wool, yes, it would be necessary. Something like cocoa, again, depending on the composition of it, may or may not be necessary. But every 7 to 10 days would be the recommendation. So that would line up pretty much precisely when switching from your 1A or your grab the right one here, from your 1B to your 2A. When you're switching to the next one, you could absolutely do a flush. And we're going to make an optional flush. We'll be building that into the feeding program. So that one's optional. And depending on your media, because we don't want to say a big catch-all, you always need it or you never need it. So there's a lot of factors that go into that. Daniel says, "You've got my card on file. Charge it to the." Yeah. So well, that's how it's going to work with the packets. Is once you guys get started on this nutrient line, I know you're never going to want to stop using it. So it'll auto ship. Like that's the beauty of it, is that you can decide, okay, how many plants am I growing? How often am I harvesting? This is how often I need nutrients. I'm going to place the order. Comes in a nice compact package, and there we go. Oh, hey, Ben, I got 2 pounds off the, I was going to say off of one. I was about to say you got that off of 2 pounds off of one plant, 2 pounds off of 3 granite haze. That's awesome, Joe. I love that. I love that. Post that in the Facebook group. I want everybody to see that. You got 2 pounds off of 3 plants. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, you guys check out Joe's pictures that he posts in the Facebook group. He does such a killer job with his plants. Let's see, Ron says setting up direct deposit for my work to Speedrun. You know, we're setting up some stuff. We're setting up some stuff. You guys, you'll be able to. I'm talking to people in this group right now that are here with me on the live who are. I see a lot of diehard Speedrun fans here, and we have a lot of strains coming out, and we have considered just having it so that you guys can just sign up to get a pack of every strain when it comes out. It'll just exactly what you just said. It'll just charge you for it. Post that if you're interested in that. If that's something that you would want, let me know. We'll set it up sooner than later if that's something that you guys want. So Ron's comment, yeah, that was hilarious, Ron. Yeah. So, damn it, I lost the name of the unreleased beans. Final boss. Final boss. You guys are going to see some video game theme names coming out from us. We had Fatality, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know is from Mortal Kombat. And then now we've got Final Boss. And you're going to see some more. You know, just because you guys are here with me every week, I'll drop a name for you of a strain that I have never talked about and that's coming out. It's going to be coming out aside from probably a little bit after this starter pack. We got Dreamcast coming out. Dreamcast is one that's dropping a little bit of a name here for you. That one is going to be one of the next ones. That one's a really exciting one too. So, and you're seeing some fresh genetics here. Like this is something that we've never brought out. You know, we have no other. So there's a Kush Cross or a Kush strain in that Final Boss that we've never. It doesn't exist in any of our other genetics. It's it's one that we worked for a long time, and we've only put it in this one strain so far, and it is so frosty. It is so ridiculously frosty. You'll see the pictures of it. It looks like some of the best photoperiod product you've ever seen. Like the stuff that we harvested, it looks so good. You would never know. If you were talking even like a year ago, 2 years ago, an autoflower that looks like this just didn't exist. So the fact that we have it here now, like we've gotten to that point with a lot of our strains, but especially this one, we've gotten to that point, and now we're able to just combine it with like the greatest autoflower nutrient line that ever. I don't know how many nutrient lines are out there that are specifically for autoflowers, but this is the best. And to be able to put genetics like this with it is just, it's so extremely fulfilling for us. So very excited. Let's see, I'll scroll up a little bit here, see if I missed any questions. I will say burped cocoa holds water for days. I am watering every 3 days and misting in between. Okay. Yeah, definitely. If you're watering every 3 days, you're going to want to have a little bit better drainage in your soil, because what you want, and I never even got to autoflower versus photoperiod nutrition. I've got 7 minutes left. I guess I can talk about that a little bit. But what you want is as far as it works with your schedule. So if you are able to water every day, if you're able to water twice a day, you want to do that, because there's nutrients that are taken up by the plant very rapidly, and there are nutrients that are taken up by the plant slower. And when you water every 3 days, those nutrients that are taken up rapidly are absorbed quickly, and then even though the soil is wet, those nutrients are no longer available to that plant. So even though you're providing it on that first day, for those next 2 days doesn't mean that your plants are actually getting that same nutrition through that full 3 day period. And that's where you might end up with some hidden hungers or some deficiencies, and pardon me, some deficiencies, and that's what we like to try to avoid. So watering more frequently refreshes that nutrient load in your soil and gives you a little bit more consistent feeding. Your peaks and troughs are not as extreme or as long as far as the drops. When is the drop for the new strains? Jason, when you say the new strains, so we've got this one is going to be a pre-order, and this one is coming with the starter kit, and that'll be this weekend that'll be made available, and then we have other strains coming. We're looking at every other week right now as far as like there potentially being a drop. Doesn't mean that there will be a drop every other week, but that on those dates is when there would be a drop if there is. So we're trying to set it up for people so that like we get a lot of comments about like, oh, it's I wish you were dropping last week because that was pay week or whatever. So we're trying to line it up on like a schedule where everybody it's easy for you to drop a little bit of money on some genetics, because we know it's something that the more often we do it, like it starts to get expensive. So, but it's worth it. It's worth every penny. Especially now that you guys are like, I can't stress enough how excited we are that same nutrients or same genetics. We're all running the same genetics, same nutrients. Like that's such a cool part of this. Yeah, give me all that new. Yeah. So let's see. Frosty, you say about the final boss? Yes, it is extremely frosty. So, and I'm probably going to have to carry on the conversation for Autoflower versus photoperiod nutrition into next week. So we'll talk about the different nutrient requirements for autoflowers and photoperiods, and precisely how we've come to those identifying those differences. But really, and I'll give you guys the real quick rundown on it. Autoflowers go through a period of rapid vegetative growth, and photoperiods experience a rapid vegetative growth period also, but not nearly in the same way. And they go through, photoperiods really have their biggest growth spurt right around the flowering stretch. Autoflowers have this giant growth spurt prior to you seeing signs of flowering. And then the hormonal differences in a photoperiod versus an autoflower. Photoperiods, they switch into flowering mode when you change the light cycle. Autoflowers have a more gradual shift into your flowering period. So the difference in that way is that your nitrogen is required in a different amount and for a different period, for longer into your flowering period with an autoflower than it is with a photoperiod. Your calcium requirements are much higher significantly higher because of that heavy vegetative growth period. In order to support that growth, structurally support that growth, they need that extra calcium. And then high levels of phosphorus early on versus your photoperiod, they're kind of similar in that way, but autoflowers especially require it for that root development. I meant to say potassium. High levels of potassium early on. They really require that for the, good night, Daniel. Really require that for the root development to occur the way it needs to. And then you're looking at a very specific micronutrient ratio that we have in here that's something that we're extremely proud of. Your ratios of your iron and manganese and your boron and copper, all of these are very specific to how we do things and are very specific to autoflowers. And this is designed to get you the best results. And we have put a lot of thought into every last component. So that was the real quick, minute and a half summary of what I wanted to talk about tonight. We ended up spending the whole thing talking about the nutrient line, but I'll do a live next week about that topic, and we can get into the deeper parts of the autoflower versus photoperiod nutrition. I know. So I will take any last questions here. We got about a minute left, so if you have a question that can be answered in a minute, I will happily take it. But other than that, guys, thank you for spending time with me again tonight. He said, didn't you say that this strain with the starter pack wouldn't be released to other people, only for the starter packs? Yes, it is only going to be in the starter pack. The starter pack will be available. It's not like we're going to only make it available for a short period of time. Starter pack is going to be available in the moving forward, but that strain is part of this starter pack. That strain is part of this, and it is coming with it and nowhere else. So, all right, guys. Yeah, we're at the end here. I love you guys. Thanks again for spending the time with me. I think I already said that. And Really looking forward to it this weekend. I'll be on the group. I'll be on the Facebook group. I'll be on the Instagram. If you have questions, let me know. Hit me up. And we're doing it. We're doing it, guys. Love you. Happy Tuesday.